What's going on, everybody? EnteR ChatZ MaN here, and I'm back with my thoughts on episode numero dos of The Lord of the Rings is the Rings of Power. Once again, if you're wondering why this is not being covered on our podcast, I'll reiterate. My buddy Phoenix, not such a big fan of The Lord of the Rings, Tolkien stuff, so I figured, hey, why not? I wanted to cover it for my channel and have it on there just so people can see my thoughts, see what's going on with the show and how I'm liking it so far. Yeah, just getting right into it. Episode 2. Very interesting episode. I'm going to try and find a better way of going through all of this. But right off the bat, something I very much enjoyed is seeing that I actually didn't know, but apparently Howard Shore was brought back to do the main title theme, which is really cool. If you don't know, Howard Shore was the composer for the other Lord of the Rings movies. He did like The Hobbit, he did the original trilogy, so definitely really cool to see a someone who's been around through the Peter Jackson days get brought back to do something, if not Peter Jackson himself, but oh well, I will go on that. But yeah, so my thoughts overall on episode 2 so far, I'm still very much enjoying it. Now I will say, for anyone out there, it still, for me, is a bit of a slow burn, but to be honest, I kind of like that. I kind of appreciate the slow kind of building up of the world of the universe. When it comes to Lord of the Rings, I don't mind a slow burn, because eventually, hopefully, it will build up to something crazy, something magnificent. But just off the top of my head, I actually watched this episode yesterday, and I'm just going to go through it. I figured today I'll just go through. I'm not going to watch it go scene by scene, but I do want to talk about a couple of these things. This scene right here, this was a really great scene. I actually really enjoyed. I'm gonna do it like this so we can kind of better streamline my thoughts and opinions. But this scene right here, we had a scene between Nori and Poppy, who were out and about, and they actually came across that flaming ball that fell from the sky, and as it turns out, it ended up being a man of some sort, and throughout the episode you kind of see them interacting with him. They actually try to tend to him, because he's kind of confused. He doesn't know where he's at. He doesn't even speak English. It's very curious exactly where he came from. But the one big thing that you can tell from him throughout the episode is he is some sort of wizard. So that definitely connects with my previous thought, is that he could be Gandalf, but I would still say that doesn't quite make sense. I mean, because I thought he was going to be like, I remember in the trailers there was Galadriel was traveling with this one human character. I thought that was going to be this guy, but apparently that guy's a different character because he's also in this episode. But, yeah, so, once again, he's some sort of wizard of something. I know when it comes to the wizards in the Lord of the Rings, I know there was, what was there? There was 5? I can't think of their names. There's some sort of higher beings. I know Gandalf is a part of this higher being of wizard, but, I know there's like 5 or 6 of them or something, so he could be a part of that group. Or he could be Gandalf. That would be kind of interesting as well. I'm not quite sure what that would mean for this lore and world, but it would be interesting. So yeah, this was a really cool episode of, he kind of puts out the fire somehow, simply by waking up, and then the fire recreates once he falls back asleep, and there's a really funny scene of Poppy and Nori kind of pushing him in a basket and dropping him, and he like wheels away. I actually found myself kind of laughing pretty hard at that part. Let's see, what's another section? Okay, so this is another little storyline. Was I remember going through the Elrond plot line, but I actually really like where they're going with this story. I feel like this is one of the more interesting. Episode 1, it wasn't necessarily that interesting, but definitely in episode 2, it starts to kind of grip me just a little bit more. Largely because with this plot line, this is the first time you get to see like a live action orc, which I actually really enjoyed the orc in this episode. See if I can I'm not gonna try. That's probably boring. But you get to see like your first actual orc, and he looks really cool. I like his kind of he had like a bone mask. Apparently these orcs kind of have like tunnels going all around the town, and it's a really fun scene. I actually really like where it's going. Arondir's girlfriend's son seems to be under some sort of spell of some sort by like Sauron, because he finds some sort of like sword, which is really cool. I'm kind of curious where they're going to go with that. But yeah, once again, I actually like Arondir. He's kind of cool. He's got a nice little story, side plot of him turning down leaving with his kinfolk, his other elves who are getting ready to leave because they think the area is safe. But he lingers behind because clearly this area is not safe. As you can tell, they go to another town, and the town is destroyed, but there's no bodies. And then you had the whole cow with the black udders in the previous episode. So once again, very curious to see what exactly Sauron or Morgoth or whomever is the big bad here is doing with these inhabitants, because it's an empty town. Who knows what the heck is going on there. Yes, so this whole side story with Elrond and Celebrimbor that ends up turning into another side plot of Elrond and him going to Khazad-dûm, which and meeting Durin and Durin's son. This whole side plot I wouldn't necessarily say is the most interesting, but what makes it good is that at least the Elrond character is really, really done well. I actually really like the actor. I like a lot of his dialogue seems kind of on brand, for Elrond. And same thing goes with the Durin. It's not actually Durin the first. I think that the dwarf in this episode is Durin the second, because you actually see Durin the first. Which actually, now that I think about it, what's really cool about this side plot is when dealing with Celebrimbor, I mean, anyone who knows the lore knows that that this is like the beginnings of the One Ring, and so basically what's happening is Celebrimbor is seeking help to build, or actually I have it right here, is seeking help to build this like forge or some sort of blacksmith oriented building. So he has Elrond essentially going to the dwarves and is seeking help from Durin to help build this, because who can build anything better than the dwarves? Nobody. The dwarves, in terms of building and infrastructure, are like the best. So clearly they're going the direction of, the building of the One Ring, the whole creation of that, which is really cool. And we know we have Sauron hiding in the background, so I'm very interested to see where they go with that. Another cool thing is at the end of this episode, I think almost towards the end, is Durin's father, Durin the First, not Durin the Second, who's the main dwarf in this episode. Durin the First, you see him for like a minute scene. But something really cool with him is he's kind of super skeptical about Elrond and the elves, making their way down to his their what is it, to Khazad-dûm. And basically, I think what they're referencing is they say that the elves are too curious, or that they want something that the dwarves have, and he opens up a box and you see something bright. So what I'm assuming that is the Arkenstone, which is the heart of the mountain, which if you've watched The Hobbit or if you've read The Hobbit, that thing plays a huge part in that story. That basically is the Arkenstone basically is the reason for The Hobbit and all of that storyline. But yeah, kind of cool. I do appreciate a lot of the references that they have in here towards other works. Once again, you have references towards the main Lord of the Rings trilogy. You have Hobbit references. I'm sure some of the references towards a lot of the Silmarillion stuff probably goes over my head, but still, I mean, for the most part, I feel like I catch most of the main stuff. But yeah, so let's see what else we got here. Yeah, so that's how the whole dwarven. Okay, so we'll move on here. So this scene here with Galadriel making her way back from the ship that she jumped off of, she ends up coming into contact with these other human settlers or something that are on this like makeshift raft because their boat was destroyed by some sort of water worm. I'm not crazy about this scene. It's a bit, how do I say, it's a bit what you'd expect, basic. What I did appreciate, at least with this part, is a big thing I really like about Middle-earth and all of, the Lord of the Rings is a lot of the creatures and stuff that they introduce are really cool and really great, have really cool designs. And I was worried that on her swim back to shore or back to where she was trying to go, I was really worried that there was going to be no water creatures or no water thing. Because it's like, some of the creatures in this world are gigantic or huge, really cool designed. And I was worried that she was just going to be able to just swim all the way back without encountering anything cool or anything interesting. But no, there is a sort of like water worm that they come into contact with. And and this other guy, what's his name? Halbrand, I think his name was. Try and get him here. Where are you at, Halbrand? There he is. And this guy, Halbrand, I'm kind of curious what exactly his role is. She encounters him, and clearly there's maybe a sort of romance or something that's going on there. I'm not quite sure. I'm not even quite sure what. I don't know what his purpose is. So that's something I'm very hopeful that they're able to kind of work into the story. I mean, what I'm assuming they're going to do with him is the similar thing that they did with Aragorn, where he's, the child, or he's some sort of higher up human or king's son or something. That's the easiest way I can think of for them to work him in and to give him a real purpose, is for him to be related to some king or some ancient warrior or something. Basically the Aragorn story. Might be kind of interesting though. See, anything else I had on my mind? Oh, I would say I really enjoyed seeing, or not seeing, but I really enjoyed the dialogue sections between. I don't know if I mentioned that, between Durin the Second and Elrond. It's pretty interesting. I mean, I really like how basically the whole reason why Durin the Second hates Elrond is because he misses he's missed his wedding and a couple births of his children and stuff like that, which is pretty interesting. And all this is and Elrond, doesn't even remember it because if you don't know, the lives of elves is super massive and can live for thousands and thousands of years, whereas dwarves have much shorter lifespans. So Elrond doesn't feel like he's missed anything, but to Durin, that amount of time, saw the birth of children and marriages and stuff. They're able to work it out though with the help of Durin's wife and everything's all clear between them. I don't know. I very much appreciated this the dialogue sections. I thought it was very entertaining, to say the least. Overall, once again, this whole section right here with Arondir and also with Arondir's girlfriend and son, I very much liked it. Anytime I get to see some orcs, live action orcs, I feel is neat. You got to see some in episode 1, but they were more CGI. I was actually really impressed with the costume design of the one orc you do see. Where is he at? I missed him. I really like to pull him up. He looked cool. If I could find him. Right there. Alright. Well, at least there we go. But yeah, I thought he looked pretty cool. He was wearing some sort of head thing. I don't even remember how this episode turned out. Oh, okay. So yeah, they ended up killing the orc, and basically throughout the entire episode, she's trying to get her father and the entire town to pretty much uproot and move because she knows what's beneath them and what's coming. And then at the very end of the episode, they're able to kill the one orc that tries to attack from underneath their house. and they end up moving, needless to say, after seeing the orc head, which I feel like was pretty cool. I definitely like that keeping up with the old Lord of the Rings. They're trying not to make the women look like damsel in distresses. They definitely give them some action. Same thing with Galadriel. I really like Galadriel so far. So once again, this whole section here is throughout the episode. Another thing throughout the episode they're trying to do is they're trying to like communicate with this wizard guy, Nori and Poppy, and it's just he seems to be having some trouble. But I think where they're going is they end up kind of getting from him that he is interested in the stars and tries to communicate through that. So I think what they're doing is, I remember one of the leaders of the Half-Foots, Poppy's, the one guy, I can't remember his name, I should have wrote it down, but he has like a book, I remember in the first episode, that's full of like star signs and letterings and stuff. So I'm assuming where they're going to go is she's going to go into town or something and try and steal that, to try and better help communicate with it. Oh yeah, so basically the episode ends with Galadriel and Halbrand. There's somebody standing over them, so while they're on their makeshift raft. So I don't know if they've made land and they are, someone is walking above them, or if they're still in the water and someone's in a boat hovering above them. Either way, it's kind of pointing towards them either being captured or being picked up by somebody, which is kind of interesting. Overall, I'd say, you know what, I should probably start giving these episodes scores while I'm at it. I would still say I enjoyed episode 1 more than 2. I don't know, what kind of score do you guys think? We need 1 through 5, 1 through 10? I'll go 1 through 10. I would, if I were to grade it, I would give episode 1 a solid, I'll give episode 1 a solid 7 out of 10. Very much enjoyed it. Very much. Overall, I would definitely say I recommend the show to anyone who is big on Lord of the Rings or likes any of that stuff. But yeah, and then episode 2, maybe like a 6 out of 10. It's not bad. It's above average. Still really enjoying it. It's a slight step down for me, but not much of one. Overall, I'm still very intrigued as to where they're going to go. I want to know more about this wizard. Where did he come from? Who is he? Is he a wizard? Is he Gandalf? Very curious where they're going to go with the Galadriel and Halbrand stuff. They've done a decent job of creating a lot of different side plots. You got Elrond, where he goes with Celebrimbor. How they're going to go about the building of the forge to help build the ring. And the Out on Deer stuff that'll have all that. Once again, I'm very much enjoying it. I would still recommend anyone out there who's interested, definitely check out these first 2 episodes. Unfortunately, now that I've covered these 2 episodes, now I have to wait a week to watch the 3rd one. So, I don't know. Overall, guys, yeah, once again, I'm enjoying it. I hope you guys enjoy it as well. Hopefully they can pick up steam a little bit. I think I read that this series, or this season, is 8 episodes, and I believe I've read that they may make more, may not. But, I mean, if they're making 8 episodes, man, I will say they may need to kind of speed it up, because they have a long ways to go if they're trying to make any headway into really anything over here. But, yeah, once again, enjoying it. I'm very much looking forward to episode 3. Please keep an eye out for that. Please keep an eye out for any other content I will be putting out. Oh, feel free down in the comments. I would love to hear what you guys think of this show so far, episodes 1 and 2. Do you like it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? I'd definitely love to hear from people who are a bit more in tune with the lore and with, Silmarillion, Hobbit. I'm sure there's people that know a lot more than me. I'm a basic Tolkien fan who very much enjoys some of the stuff. So I will be the first to admit I do not know about some of the stuff I'm sure more people know about. But yeah, I'd love to hear whether you guys, you deep lore nerds, are enjoying this, or if you don't like what it's doing in terms of straying away from some of the base material. But yeah, thank you so much, guys. Please like, share, and subscribe. Do all that normal stuff. I can't wait to see you on the next episode, and we will take another deep dive into the Middle-earth and Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power. Alright, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I love you. Peace. Hey now, I see you made it through the video and liked or even possibly loved it. Well, if you want to see any more additional content or you'd like to get into contact with me, consider checking out some of my social medias right here. And if you'd like to go above and beyond and want to support my channel monetarily, here is also a couple places where you can do so. And if nothing else, simply liking, sharing, and subscribing would make me the happiest ChazmaN on the planet.